We are going to go ahead and go live. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Molly Rowland. I am live from ShePodcasts in Atlanta, Georgia. I am representing Heartcast Media and Podcast Outfitters today. I am sitting here with Juliette. Juliette, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everyone.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great, and I'm just really blown away by your little setup.
Oh, thanks, man. I wanted to represent properly and show that women understand tech and can do things and get the job done.
Yeah, and I just love it. It's very portable. It's very inspiring.
Thank you. I try to make things realistic, right? I've figured out how to produce content without any post-production and do things real time and live, and so I'm excited about that, and I like to drag my stuff around and flex a little bit, if you will.
Congrats.
Thank you very much. So tell me, what do you think about ShePodcasts? How are you enjoying yourself this week?
Well, I just love it. I've done lots of conferences in my life.
Yeah.
I'm a kind of conference girl, but my hope is that they don't grow too much, but I think they're gonna grow. But I just love how intimate and welcoming and supportive is the community.
Yeah.
I really love how all the sessions are very pragmatic. So I love that it's really, I don't know if it's because of a woman perspective, but it's very pragmatic, kind of get you straight to the point, no much ego involved.
Right.
So I really like that, and I've met lots of new friends.
Nice.
So that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's been, it's a really warm environment. I feel like people are just happy to be here, right?
Yeah.
It's nice. I've really enjoyed being able to talk to so many people about podcasting and equipment and helping people to, record better even with their own equipment and go back home and learn some information to create better content. It's exciting for sure.
Right, and I feel like everyone's just cheering for everyone else.
Exactly. So where are you located?
So I'm based in LA.
Okay.
I'm originally from France.
Gotcha.
Been in the States for about 7 years now.
Oh, wow. So what do you do in LA?
So I've got my media company. It's called Be Your Change.
Okay.
And it's about amplifying voices of female changemakers, women changemakers.
Amazing.
So I'm very interested in women who are trying to build a more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable society. So I try to interview women who are social entrepreneurs, who are executive director of nonprofit.
Right.
But it could also be musicians who are women musicians who are doing just a very interesting tech on music.
Yeah.
Or have women photographer, women podcasting. So it's kind of very broad.
Yeah. That's exciting. So what is the name of your podcast?
It's called Be Your Change.
Oh, the Be Your Change same for the company.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to start the company? That's very specific.
Well, so I was in San Francisco. I was working in a tech company. I wasn't very happy, very male-dominated. Actually, it was podcasting, but and then it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
I just felt like I just have this voice and have all these ideas, And then it was a couple of years ago, so podcasting was not as big for women yet.
Sure.
And then I started to say, okay, let me explore other avenues. And I started to look at San Francisco, and I called it as a social lab. So I was meeting all these really incredible women who were doing work to build a more diverse and inclusive tech industry.
Yeah.
Women working in social impact, women working in eco-fashion, women trying to build the Latina community together.
Right.
So all these voices, and women working in investment or, impact investing, helping the environment. And I said, no one talks about them. So that was kind of my inspiration, saying all these women are doing really cool work. I'm tired of hearing negative news every day.
Right.
I'm tired of reading my, news app because it's always so depressing. I want to focus on the positive.
Yeah.
And then just being in that community really inspires me as well. So it makes me happier to get up in the morning, and I just get excited about what they do.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, that's such a good point. There's so much negativity. It's so overwhelming. And, I've been a woman business owner for a long time, and I owned a media company for the last 20 years, multimedia, and I never got any press.
Right.
And I did amazing shit. I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but and we never got any press because it's always pay to play, or if you're in their face and you're telling them, there was nobody just actively wanting to showcase what I was doing. And what I was doing was impacting the community at large. I mean, we had 160 artists in our collective. We were booking and doing things. And there was no love on that. Now, the creative community loved us and lots of people loved us, but that's because they came to events and they experienced it and they saw it. But we never got any press. And so I totally appreciate and respect, making sure that we're amplifying the message of women who are doing important things, because the reality is just the way things work. Like if you don't have a PR person and you're not actively working and pushing people to talk to about how great you are, sometimes it doesn't happen.
Well, I also think it's a bigger problem than that. If you look at probably 95% of the media platform, or maybe 98%, they're started or owned by male.
Right.
And, even if I was looking very interesting, I was trying to kind of scout through even podcasting platform. Like if you look at the content department, very often it's a male who's in charge. And I have nothing against that, but I just feel like I always feel like if we had more women in media, like if we had 50% media ownership from women, I think we will be in a better place in the world.
Totally.
Because we have a totally different approach, different sensibility. We are much more inclusive. We are very community focused. We are really about lifting others. So I think the problem is really also about that. And I'm excited that podcasting is bringing so many women in media.
Totally.
And some of them, like lots of us, we want to go big.
Yeah.
We want to build the next, round of media platform that's going to influence the world to go in my point, to build a planet we want to live in.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's just so important to have that voice, for sure. I commend you for starting that company and having that drive and that vision to do it. I have no doubt that you'll be, very successful in that.
Yeah. Well, I think what's really helping is like seeing how my community is excited about it, and then also how it was sometimes early to discover women that, my first interview was this woman who does a zero waste platform. And I think she probably was the first interview she did, and now she's all over the news, and, so I kind of feel very proud of that.
Yeah, as you should. I mean, it makes such a difference. And I think, it's so much about like the subtle programming, the images that are used, the video that is used, the way things are spoken have really kind of set us up for this like one-way dark path as women. And so I think, having like more women ownership in these media companies will just change that lens ever so slightly. I mean, I can even say, I was just telling somebody else this, like I create content for like Department of Health and like other people. And so I'm making these like immunization videos, like really generic stuff that's just going out to people to give them the information. And so I'm going out of my way. Like if I'm going to put an image of a doctor, it's a female doctor, right? Or if it's an image of a man, I put it with his family. Like I'm just kind of turning that, because it's also not fair for men, right, to always be put on this like professional pedestal. They're only in a suit. They're only providing. There's a lot of like weird pressure in society for men too.
They have their own challenges to deal with.
Right, and so it's like emasculating if you're like with your kids. So like I'm changing that just by changing the imagery. And then with women, it's like if it's gonna be a doctor, I put a female doctor with like male nurses, or like women scientists, and just like even if it's 2 seconds on the screen, but that stuff really matters, And my client was happy with it. They love it too. They have no problem with that. And so it's like that. I feel like that's how we change things, right? It's like it's everything. It's like what we're listening to, what it looks like, who created that content, the intention behind it, what the end results are, and like how does that include everyone, and how does that create a better path for the whole planet. And I think women are
and then I was on a board of a non-profit, and then they were saying that only 5% of the content you consume, which is like either video or radio show or or music tracks, is on less than 5% is produced by women.
That's crazy.
And so I just feel like, come on girls, let's get in that. And so that's one of the reasons that I've launched this podcast coaching retreat. Because I've been in the podcast industry for a while, and then I was just also tired to go through all the tutorials and the videos, and I love for me, I mean, I thrive in a small environment with 10 other women, and then we just help each other and coach each other. That the idea behind the coaching podcast coaching retreat, like I don't want something big, I want something very intimate, cozy based, and say, lots of women out there, you're doing amazing work, you're either leading nonprofit, you impact, sometimes you're just impacting your community, like it doesn't have to be at the head of an organization.
Right.
And we want you to start sharing that message in podcasting, because you're gonna inspire others.
Exactly.
For me, like my daughter is very inspired. She's part of the podcast now. She's just doing my ads, and she's just awesome. Like, she's very proud.
That's super cool. I like that. And I agree. I like the more intimate stuff, which is why I wanted to set this up. I was like, I don't want to stand behind a table for 3 days. Like, I want to interact with people. I want to create some content.
Build a relationship.
Because this is great. Like, every single one of these I've done, I've learned so much more about the women, and it's just a really awesome opportunity to be able to do that. So thank you for coming to sit down and talk. I'm excited to connect and partner with you more on some equipment stuff.
Yeah.
And, if there's any way that Heartcast Media, we're 100% women owned and operated. Very proud.
Yeah, so I would love, I started to do... For me, like, I want to produce more and faster, so I started to look into podcasting as well, and I want to bring more of your voices too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure we can both contribute and collaborate on some things and help pave the way. I learned recently that 40% of all new podcasters are women.
Yeah.
And so that's exciting. So we just have to double down and amplify the work we're doing and make sure that we're, bringing more people along with us.
Yeah, to join her really fun community. Once you're part of it, that's a really fun journey.
Super cool, for sure. Well, Juliette, thank you very much. I appreciate your time, and I can't wait to connect with you more offline.
Yeah, thank you, Molly. I really appreciate the opportunity. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.